Hey right guys, Trash Punches Joe here, and today we're going to be talking about what I watched and played in April of 2020. Obviously I'm like half a month late with this one, or over half a month by the time it's uploaded, so I do apologise for that. Like I say all the time, I've just been so caught up, and at the start of May there was like quite a lot of shows that I was kind of doing, so I've just only had this time now to really space out 15 minutes to just kind of go through everything that I watched and played. Which TV seasons wise, not as strong, but film-wise, I think I've smashed out 7 films, and then games, which we'll go through in a minute, I think I've done okay with. There's been like one big game that I did a lot in April and May at the moment as well. May, we've got through a lot of seasons, but obviously we'll get through that. We'll get to that in like a couple of weeks' time. So, starting off with TV seasons, didn't finish any House this time, or 24. We're kind of close to finishing certain seasons of that, but didn't finish any in this month. From what I've written down anyway. The last season of House that I have here is season 4, and I'm like very close to the end of season 5 now because I haven't been as on it with 24 and House because I've been more into films at the moment, which is kind of cool. But the only season I finished was Glee season 3. Obviously you guys have probably heard my entire thoughts with Glee season 3 right now, but I gave that an 8, or I guess if we're doing that 4 out of 5 for season 3. I really enjoyed it, and obviously now I'm about 6 episodes into season 4 now as well, and I'm enjoying season 4 so far at the moment. So yeah, TV seasons, I've already got like 6 that I've finished in May already, and we're on the 15th like I said, so that'll be a lot more stacked for TV seasons. But that's basically all I did for finishing seasons wise, which is kind of low, but I'm at the point now with shows where I'm just like halfway through them and kind of wrapping them up. So jumping straight into films, like I said, 7 films, which was definitely better than March, where I only did 1 film, which was obviously good, interrupted. But April, the first film that I watched was Snowpiercer, directed by Bong Joon-ho, who's obviously the director of Parasite as well. And I've been wanting to watch this for a long time. Even before Parasite was out, I wanted to watch this film. The person that, or Liam that I used to live with, he watched it and said it was really good. And then my mates George and Bez really liked the film as well. And I watched it and I enjoyed it. I think I didn't love it as much as some people did. I know they have the TV series coming out on Netflix soon as well. But yeah, I didn't love the film. I think the direction was good, the acting was good, the action was decent as well. It's just, and even the concept of it, I liked. I just, for some reason, I didn't connect with the film as much as I thought I would. It had some fun sequences. I think it dragged out a little bit. In the ending, there were some moments in there that were a little bit ridiculous, where I was like, okay. I didn't like the ending as well, like the way the film ended, I didn't love. It was fun though. I gave it a 3 out of 5 overall. It's not a bad film, and I can see why people do love that film, but for me, it's not that I went in with high expectations. I just didn't love it as much as I personally thought I was going to. So yeah, that was fine. It was a fine film. Then I rewatched Prisoners, I think for the 4th time. I've seen this film now. I love this film so much. I actually watched it at the cinema when it first came out in, was it 2013? I think I want to say Prisoners came out, and could be wrong. I love this film. It's actually one of my favourite films of all time, I'd say. Like, the acting from Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal is great. Basically, the concept of it is I don't know, don't want to give away too much. This happens in like the first 5 minutes, so I guess I can say this. If you don't want to know anything about Prisoners, then I guess go to the next film. But basically, Hugh Jackman's daughter and his friend's daughter could both go missing within like the first 5 minutes of the film. And it's him trying to deal with that and trying to find her as well. And then you have Jake Gyllenhaal, who's the detective who's been assigned to the case. And that's the basic concept, but there's like some dark, cool shit that goes on in this film. It's from Denis Villeneuve, who I love as well as a director. So he really boosts this film up to being better than it would be if he wasn't part of it. So the acting, as I said, Hugh Jackman, this was kind of before Logan for me, because I watched it in 2013, so before Logan was out, and this was what made me go like, oh yo, Hugh Jackman's actually a sick actor. He's so great in this, and Jake Gyllenhaal has always been one of my favourite actors, so yeah, he's really, really strong in this film. So it's quite long, I think it's like 2 hours and a half, but that flies by. I think any length of film will fly by as long as the film's good. So yeah, I give this a 5 out of 5, I think it's perfection. Some great scenes in there, so I definitely recommend Prisoners. Then I rewatched The Iron Giant, which I love. I don't know why my voice went Iron, but I think I was just super happy that I got to watch The Iron Giant. But Yeah, this is one of my favorite animated films of all time. I love. It's such a basic idea. It's just the Iron Giant comes flying in out of nowhere, and makes friends with this kid, and they go on adventures together. And it's like 90 minutes. And again, animated films. One of the main reasons I really do adore them, apart from that, they're great to watch, is they just go by so quick. So you don't have to dedicate too much time to watching the films. And the Iron Giant to me feels like a 50-minute film. It flies by so quickly, and the ending always gets me a little bit emotional, and I have that kind of nostalgic attachment to it because it was one of the films I watched constantly as a kid. So for some reason I always watched it around Christmas. It's not even like a Christmas film, it's not definitely not a Christmas film, but for some reason it's my Christmas film. I always watch it around Christmas, and I mean April is definitely not Christmas, but I didn't watch it last year, so had to be done. Again, a 5 out of 5 for me. There are a couple of flaws in there for sure, but I love the characters. I think the voice acting is actually very good. It's got Jennifer Aniston in playing the mother, and the voice actor, whoever that is who plays the kid, I think does a very good job. And Vin Diesel doing the Iron Giant, which is just maybe his best film ever. I would argue the Iron Giant is Vin Diesel's best film ever, unless you include him in Saving Private Ryan, but I even prefer the Iron Giant to that. So yep, 5 out of 5 for that. Then I watched Love and Other Drugs, which is a rom-com starring Jake Gyllenhaal again, and I'm blanking on her name. Anne Hathaway, who I had a crush on way back in the day, and then this film reignited my celebrity crush for Anne Hathaway. But yeah, it was a good film. I felt like there was some scenes that were a little bit rushed in there, and this film got shat on. Like, people hate this film. I read up some reviews after, and they really don't like this film for some reason, because they said it was too cliche and the obvious scenes happen that you'd expect in a rom-com. But to me, I don't care. I go into a rom-com wanting a rom-com and having the cliches of a rom-com, then I'm not going to complain when you get those cliches. It's like an action film. If you go into an action film and you get action, why is that a cliche? So I didn't really get the negative reviews for this film. Apart from that, there's some negative reviews where I'm like, okay, I understand where they actually, criticise the film instead of the genre that it's going for. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. If you want a fun film to watch with Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway just having sex basically every scene, then I would recommend this film. So then I watched Swiss Army Man, or rewatched Swiss Army Man for the third time. Yeah, I think third time, and I love this film. Again, it's one of those films that I can understand why people might not like it. It is a little bit silly, like some of the jokes that they come out with. I like that it's not just stupid humour. If it was really just stupid humour, because it does have like a lot of fart jokes and stuff going on, and masturbation jokes and all that shit, like proper year 7 comedy. But it has like this deeper meaning behind these jokes, and even me saying that, if you haven't seen the film, probably sounds a little bit ridiculous. But when you watch it, you'll understand that these shitty jokes that they do come out with actually have a deeper meaning, and that's why I like the film. It's a very simple concept, like Paul Dano, or is that how you say it? Paul Dano, Paul Dano? I don't know, he's from Prisoners as well, actually. He's stranded on an island by himself, and he's basically about to end it all when Daniel Radcliffe, Mr. Harry Potter himself, comes washing up onto shore, and he is a corpse. So he's dead, and then it's Paul Dano and him like kind of making friends, even though Daniel Radcliffe's a corpse. But Daniel Radcliffe can play a corpse to perfection. He's really good in the film, surprisingly. Well, I say surprisingly, like he's a bad actor. He's not. I've seen Daniel Radcliffe in a lot of films now since Harry Potter, like Jungle, Woman in Black, Swiss Army Man as well. The one where he played like an undercover Nazi, I forgot the name of that. He's really good. He's a really good actor, and I love him in this film as well. The same with Paul Dano, but the music's really good as well. I like the simplicity of the music. It's actually funny at times. I don't really laugh at like the farting all the time. Like, that doesn't make me laugh. But like I said, the reason I don't hate that they have that is because it has that deeper underlying message for it. And I don't know, something about this film just really connects me. I love it. So I give it a 4.5 out of 5, which is the exact same rating I gave it when I first watched it. It's like, I want to give it the 5, but there are a couple of stuff in there that I don't love, but it's very minuscule things. So I would recommend it. It's not going to be for everyone for sure. It's by A24, so they always seem to have a film that It's either you love or you hate it. But for me, with Swiss Army Man, I definitely love the film. Then the final two films I watched in April were both Saw films. So the first one was Saw 5. In this, it's a Saw film. I understand why people don't like the Saw films after the first one, because the first one is actually a really good mystery thriller, and that was the second Saw that I watched. Any Saw after that is just torture porn, and I get that. But I like them. I have fun with the Saw films. I get they're kind of shit. But even up until all 7, I like to a point. Jigsaw is the only Saw film that I don't like. I think that's actually shit. But 2 to 7 I can look at and go, yes, they're technically shit films. I enjoy watching them. I enjoy the traps. I enjoy Tobin Bell doing his Jigsaw voice. So I have fun with it. So Saw 5 I gave a 2.5 out of 5. And then Saw, the first one, is genuinely a really good film. I gave that a 4 out of 5. I actually like the mystery behind that, and it's not all about the the traps and the torturing of it. It's actually got like a really good story going on for that one as well. I argue that 2 and 3 kind of do as well, but I understand also why people don't like 2 and 3. But yeah, so they're all the films that I watched. It was a good month for film. Like I say, I watched quite a few in May already, but we'll get into that in the next video. I'd say the positive, or the best film I watched was only 2 of these films were ones that I hadn't seen before, which was Snowpiercer and Love and Other Drugs. Every other film in there I'd already watched before. I'd argue Prisoners is the best film out of all of them, along with The Iron Giant, but Swiss Army Man is very close there as well. Saw's are Saw films, and Snowpiercer was okay, but like I said, I didn't love it, and Love and Other Drugs was just, yeah, your rom-com. You know what you're going to get with Love and Other Drugs, basically. Even though Love and Other Drugs, it kind of had a nice story in there as well. That wasn't typical to the obvious rom-coms. As for games that I played, if this wants to load, like I say, there was one game that I spent a lot of time with, which I actually want to do a review for, because I really, really enjoyed it. But I think I mentioned Resident Evil 3. Did we talk about Resident Evil 3 in the... I know we spoke about Until Dawn in the last one, which I liked. Then Resident Evil 3, I think I gave my thoughts on. But the only other game I've been doing is Doom Eternal, which I have been playing for like 2 months now, but I'm trying to get the platinum on it. And oh my god, I have 2 trophies left to get the platinum on this game. I'm so close to one of those. It's like get 200 kills in the online game mode. The online on this game is shit. The online in Doom Eternal is tragic. It's really put me off the game. Like I was playing through Doom and I was like, yo, this is sick. I was going to give it like a 4 out of 5 or whatever. But the gameplay of the online is so bad. And there's like 5 trophies or 6 trophies you have to get in the online. I've got all of them apart from one. And then the last trophy I have to get is I have to go through the game again on like easy mode and get all the extra lives or something like that. Which that'll be piss easy. I can do that in a few hours. But the online has been so boring that it's kind of ruined the game for me. So Doom Eternal, I've been going to take down from a 4 to a 3.5 because of the online. It's so bad. The online is so bad. Like, if you're going for the platinum on Doom Eternal, be aware that that is part of the game, and it's taking me about 5 hours of the online at the moment, which doesn't sound like a lot, because I could do 5 hours of Call of Duty Warzone and I'd be happy days, but 5 hours of Doom Eternal has been torture. And then the other game that I've put a lot of time into this month and last month was Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I love so much. I've not completed it yet. I'm on chapter 10 out of 18, I think. So about just over halfway of it. I didn't play the original when it came out on PS1 or whatever, so it's quite nice and refreshing going into this story not knowing anything about it, but I love it. The characters are so good, and I've not even seen the entirety of the game yet, but the combat's fun, the environments are great, the cinematics and the cutscenes, the dialogue is all a lot of fun. So where I'm at with the rating for Final Fantasy at the moment is probably a 4.5. I want to give it a 5, but I'm going to wait until I see the entirety of the game. And I know it's like not even the entirety of Final Fantasy VII, it's like a small portion of it, and then they're going to do more. I don't know why the dog's getting yappy now, but yeah, I'll go 4.5 for Final Fantasy at the moment, but keep in mind, I've not completed the game yet, so that could change, and I'll bring you up to speed on that at the end of May. But yeah, they're everything that I watched and played in April. Like I said, sorry this is late, but I still want to stick to doing these every month. I want to get every month this year for sure, so I'm not going to slack, even though some might be delayed here and there depending on what shows are out. So yeah, as always, let me know down below what you've been watching and what you've played, if you can remember in April. I'll try and get May up in the first couple of days of June. Jesus. And then we can probably talk about it a bit more. But yeah, there we go, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Until next time. Peace.